Welcome back to the channel, guys. In the last video I fought that Slayer boss, Cerebus. I told you guys that I wanted to get my mage up in the next bond, that I wanted to get barrow gloves. I had told you that I was trying to get my account ready for Deadman. I also wanted to work on farming so that way I could farm while playing Deadman, maybe to try and get some money for a bond or something in between. That's probably not going to be the case now that I've actually experienced Deadman. I don't think I'm going to be playing old school Runescape until I'm done with Deadman. But in order to start farming, I had to do that quest to get those little trimmer shears. I think Fairy Tales Part 1. And then I was able to start planting trees. You can't plant trees right away in farming, so doing the quest gives you enough XP so that you can. I didn't stick to just trees, which I will now in the later levels of farming, but in the early farming you get so much XP from stuff like sweet corn and watermelons and stuff and snapgrass that I thought it was just worth it to plant as much stuff as I could and harvest it to hurry up and try to get to the farming guild so that I could enjoy that new content that I hadn't had any ability to participate in. So I thought that was cool. I wanted to fight that new Hespori boss that I had seen on the internet and maybe get a chance at the bottomless bucket. I had no idea how long it was going to take me to get 65 farming, but I think it ended up being about 3 days of consistent farming, and it's not that bad. It gets really expensive, I think, if you plant certain things, but I planted only the cheap stuff like willow trees, and papaya was the highest fruit I planted, so that's why it took me so long. If you spent more money and you planted better trees, you could definitely get there faster in 3 days. I just felt like the threshold was so much difference. You know, going from a willow to a maple is 10 times the price, so it felt perfect for me to just plant the willows. I did have to get the Hesidious favor, though, to unlock the guild. All I really did was plow fields and then make the, I think it's saltpeter compost and give it to the lady, and that was it. So it wasn't as hard as I thought. 10 minutes of making saltpeter and 15 minutes of plowing the field, probably a half hour total. I don't see me planting anything but willows and papayas all the way as far as I can go until I'm rich anyway, and then I can afford better trees. I also wanted to work on my rune crafting, mainly because sorry about that, the audio cut out. I also wanted to rune craft, mainly because I'm not making any money for all the time I've been playing. I feel like I've played 6 months and I don't have anything to show for it money-wise. I do a lot of Slayer and I'm still broke. But I do have to pay for the bonds every 2 weeks, so that costs a lot too. You know, we would have spent close to over 30 mil so far now on bonds. I've currently bought a 10th one. This video is a little old, but I'm trying to catch you guys up with everything that we're doing on my channel, playing RuneScape. The boss, this was the first time I fought him. I didn't know what to take, so it didn't work very well. I thought, you know, anybody could beat that plant. I figured, you know, if it was a skilling boss, level 3s probably beat it. So I come back wearing my gear that I normally wear when I slay, and I need melee. It's like welfare bandos. It's not really bandos, but it's 2 strengths less and 50 mil cheaper. So that's what we bring is obsidian. I know that I'm weak to magic, so I just pray magic when I'm wearing the obsidian, and that was my plan, and I would just eat while I ran around and whacked those plants. I didn't know that I had to whack the plants until after fighting him the first time. I then looked up a video online, and it easily showed me that all I had to do was whack the plants, and then I could whack him, and I thought, yeah, it's going to be an easy fight, but he's still, I think in this fight, does hit me for as high as a 39, so you do still got to be on guard with this guy and don't let your health go too low. He could KO you. I'm not sure exactly what all he has on like a loot table for drops. I just know of the bottomless bucket being something that he can drop that I was hoping to get that I didn't, but I'm sure maybe in the future if we kill him enough times we can probably get one. It takes, I think, 32 hours to grow this guy to fight him, and then you have to dig him up to get the loot. I don't think you could ever run out of killing this guy, chances to kill this guy if you do farming every day consistently, like even tree runs, because you get like 1 of his seeds a day, and it takes 32 hours for one to grow. So I think you could fight him indefinitely if you wanted to. I would say it's definitely profitable since it doesn't take very much time. It's like a passive thing. It grows when you're playing or doing something else. It's not like you actually got to come and water it and take time out of your day to make it grow. So I would definitely recommend planting your Hespori seeds before you get behind on them. And as you can see, though, there's not much to him. You don't have to like prayer flick or anything to beat him. You can pretty much, you probably didn't even have to pray. You could just tank through him. And yeah, there's that 39 I was talking about. So yeah, he can definitely hit. So don't think he's a chump. And you do have to dig them up. I didn't bring a shovel with me, but thankfully there's one of those little green leprechauns right outside, and he was able to hook us up with our shovel so that we can go back and get our loot. I do believe I price checked the loot so that we can see that I think the first kill might have been 200k. Hopefully we price maybe we don't price check it. But I think the seeds were like 200k. Then I went to rune crafting. At first I was going to just make fire tiaras because I think that's what I used to do back in the day, but that is way too expensive. It would be like 60k a run. So I just made fire runes until I could make cosmics because I already had the agility shortcuts unlocked for cosmics. So, and I had just done the fairy tales for farming, so I felt like it was perfect to just go ahead and start using the fairy ring to take me near the cosmic temple, and I'd be able to make some money. But then I got bored real quick of that, and I started making the lava runes to finish out rune crafting. Also, I did hit finally 80 herbalore, and we can make some blood potions. So that was really cool. It took a long time to do that. I will eventually get 90 for the overloads and raids. I want to be able to do raids whenever I get back from Deadman. And we made planks all the way to 94. So we now have Lunar's Taste Vengeance unlocked. But I still have not done Desert Treasure. Or actually, yes, I have done Desert Treasure. So we have Bursting unlocked because that's what I went and I did with the 94 after we got it. Was I decided I was going to burst. I felt like if I could find a place to burst that where it was break even or maybe even profit, or maybe we didn't lose much money, that I would burst all the way to 99 magic, because 99 magic is one of the capes that I think would be useful enough for me to actually go out and acquire. Yes, so here I bursted. These necreals, I do break even on these necreals if I pick up everything that's worth more than 3,000 coins. And I don't bring a full inventory of prayer pots. I just bring enough to fill up my inventory and then bank using a games necklace and come back. I can break even. So it's free mage XP doing that, and I plan to use that all the way to 99. So I went ahead and I sold most of my gear, like my BGS, and I bought more mage gear. In this video right here, I don't think I'm... Sorry, my audio keeps cutting out, guys. I hadn't bought all the gear yet. Like, I think I do have the ancestral hat there, but I bought like Arium skirts and the top, and I got a master wand now so that I can get to where I'm about a hair over break even if I do it long enough. So, like I was saying, I plan to do that to 99, but not at the moment. I don't plan to play this account until after Deadman. So when I come back from Deadman, I want to be able to get the magic cape. I think the magic cape will be useful compared to the other capes. And then I can hopefully go out PKing in the wilderness maybe, or on bounty hunter. I tried a little bit of bounty hunter in this bond. I still suck ass at PvP, but maybe after a season of Deadman, we'll be a little bit better at PvP. And even if we're not, we're going to have to get better to do any decent in the tournament if we do qualify, which from what I've seen, it doesn't seem to be too hard for people to qualify. You definitely pick up everything that you can on here if you're trying to break even. If you're not trying to break even, you could just leave a lot of the adamant stuff there. The one shitty thing is that you can't alky when you're on ancient books, or otherwise you'd make way more money here, because as you can see, like, I have to leave some stuff on the ground, and that stuff adds up. As for running corners to corners, I don't know. I just try to get 9. I can only hit a square of 9, so I just try to ball them up in a box and then walk around in a box to keep them in a box, if that makes any sense. But that's how I was doing my bursting, and it breaks even, so that's good enough for me. Other than the rune crafting and the bursting, I gave up on Barrow's gloves. I don't plan to get Barrow's gloves anytime soon. Maybe when I get back from Deadman's season. But I still needed 40 quest points, and that's just too much for me. I decided to cash in my 3 brimstone keys that I have. I get those brimstone keys from using Connor on my 10 times task, because she gives way more points. And this is what the value of 3 of the keys came out to be. So they averaged out to be about 200k a key. I then, since I wanted to go practice PvP, I wanted to get some Dragon Swords, guys. I think that's a good weapon that I could learn to PK with. But I didn't have a clue how to even start PKing in members. I went and tried to hunt the wilderness down. I couldn't find anybody. I think I then went to where I'd been killed a bunch of times since I've been playing in the wilderness, which is at Green Dragons, and everybody was low level there, so I couldn't attack them. Sometimes I forget how high my level got on here so quick. I get frustrated from hopping around and can't find anyone, so that I then go to Bounty Hunter because I thought Bounty Hunter would for sure give me somebody to fight. I thought that was the point of it. So I hop one over and try to hunt down a target on Bounty Hunter. Also, it's crazy that there's not like more people in the wilderness. I thought that I wouldn't. I thought I'd run into tons of people in the wilderness. I thought that, I don't know. I guess I just thought more people were in the wilderness, but people who go in the wilderness only do clue scrolls, right? Eventually I go to the Bounty Hunter world, at least I'm pretty sure I do. Otherwise I just sit there with my hand out. This guy eventually like PMs me and tells me that he wants to fight, but the problem was he just wants to melee, and I wanted to like mage and shoot, and DD spec Gmaul was going to be my only melee. And that's because up until this point I thought the spec button, the little orb next to the map, worked in PvP also on mobile, but that new update is only for PVM, which is very gay. It needs to work for mobile and PvP. It would definitely bridge the gap of difficulty in ability to combo, meaning do one special and switch to another weapon and do that special. We don't have F keys on our phone. So I really think that having a button to press to do our special would make all the world's difference. So this guy, he doesn't want me to mage him. And I mean, like, I would figure, you know, anything goes, but then I also wasn't planning on somebody tabbing away. I don't even know if I brought a tab. I probably did. But I had a Ring of Life on, and I had forgotten about that. I guess I took it with me for the wilderness, and then I completely forgot when I was PvPing. And it becomes relevant, I think, with this rematch. Even after knowing that he wanted to just melee, I still wanted to fight him, and I didn't have any melee gear, and I didn't want to risk going all the way to the GE and buying some, and then him not being there anymore and not wanting to fight. So I just kind of ran out there. I wanted some action. I got to practice combo eating, I guess, and my Ring of Life telling me away, so I felt like a little bitch because I felt he totally earned my gear, and I was ready to give it away. I thought I was wearing a donation anyway. I just wanted to get some practice. But he didn't care, so I then just geared up to more of a range hybrid and went out to find another match. I wanted to get a skull because when I went out there to look for a match without a skull, it seemed like people want to fight you unscalled, so I don't know, it's complicated. I'd rather just fight everybody scald. Like, this guy wants to fight me, but he don't want to skull. I'm not interested. I don't care what your story is, what your background is, what you're risking. If you're not sculling, I don't want to fight you. I don't give a shit. And then this guy, he wants to... I want to kill my phone. It keeps cutting out. But anyway, so this guy wants to fight. I feel really bad at the fact that I had a chance to kill that guy. That's the first guy I had a chance to kill, and I ruined it with Ring of Life, but I wouldn't have got to kill anyway because I would have tried to hit the button special, and it doesn't work like I thought it did. So anyway, guys, this is what I've been up to. Bond 9 is over. I went ahead and started the Deadman season, and I will be putting that video up tomorrow about the first week's content of it. I'm doing well. I'm in the top 100, so you'll have to see how we started out and how we began as a noob, and you just got to see me get annihilated. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see what we do on mobile only, and thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to everybody who's been watching. Later. And then we went to the duel arena and lost all our money. Psych, I'm just kidding.